When police searched Surgeon Joel Le Scouarnec's home after he raped his 6-year-old neighbour in 2017, they found a cache of sex dolls, wigs and child pornography, and electronic diaries that appeared to detail nearly 3 decades of rapes and sexual assaults on hundreds of young patients in hospitals across western France. Le Scouarnec was sentenced to 15 years in jail in 2020 for the rape and sexual assault of his child neighbour, his 2 nieces, and a 4-year-old patient. But the investigation of his files continued, and the 74-year-old will again face trial on February 24th in Vannes, Brittany. It will be France's largest ever child sexual abuse case. Le Scouarnec is charged with the aggravated rape and sexual assault of 299 people, many of them children. Mathis Vinet was 10 in 2007 when his father and grandfather drove him to the hospital with stomach pain. The grandfather, Roland Vinet, thought nothing of the surgeon's order that Mathis spend the night there alone. In his diary, Le Scouarnec recalled sexually assaulting a little boy that day and the following one, according to a court document.
We had no idea of what had happened, and he himself didn't talk about it. He could have said he thought it was normal for the doctor to examine him like that. A 10-year-old kid.
Mathis was never the same and fell into a life of alcohol and drugs, the Vinets say. He died of an overdose, aged 24, in 2021, 3 years after learning from the police about the abuse he'd allegedly suffered. Reuters couldn't establish the role the surgeon's alleged actions played in Mathis's death. Roland and his wife Morissette believe he took his own life.
There's no other word for it. He killed him. He didn't take a revolver to kill him, but he killed him, like he killed all his victims. Because they're not dead, they're still there, but there's a part of them that's completely dead.
The trial comes at a time of reckoning over sex crimes in France. Dominique Pelicot was found guilty in December of drugging his wife Giselle and inviting men to rape her. 50 other men were accused of rape. Le Scouarnec was convicted over child pornography in 2005, but continued to work in public hospitals until his arrest in 2017, raising tough questions for France's publicly funded health system. François was 12 when Le Scouarnec allegedly abused him.
Je me rends compte que je n'aurais pas dû être opéré par ce chirurgien.
I realised that I should not have been operated on by this surgeon, that ultimately the protections, the safeguards were not activated or were not activated in time, and that the warnings were not listened to. So yes, I feel betrayed by the authorities.
Investigators tracked down potential victims by matching diary descriptions with hospital records. Many of the anaesthetised patients had no recollection of the alleged abuse. But psychiatrists documented symptoms of post-traumatic stress in victims, according to court documents. François hopes the trial will shift the sense of shame from the victims to the accused.
Dès la sortie de l'hôpital, je me suis renfermé sur moi-même.
As soon as I left the hospital, I withdrew into myself. I distanced myself from my parents, from my loved ones.
Je me suis désinscrit à...
I cut all my social ties too. Today, as an adult, I am under an antidepressant treatment, very reinforced psychological monitoring.
Prosecutors say Le Scouarnec has admitted to investigators many of the accusations he faces. His lawyers declined to comment ahead of the trial.